Superman, save us! Anybody back there? Is he coming? You see him out there? Oh. We're in trouble. Superman is billed as faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, right?
Right.
Where does Clark Kent go to change into Superman?
Oh.
A phone booth. A coin-operated phone booth. We're living in a digital world, and Superman needs an analog phone booth. We're on the eve of Apple Pay, and Clark Kent is walking around with a handful of chips. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Technology is killing our superheroes. Superman is faster than a speeding bullet. Did you know that muzzle velocity, which measures the speed of a bullet, has increased 40% in the past 40 years? Can Superman keep up? He's more powerful than a locomotive? Well, that was the old steam locomotives. What about high-speed rail? What about the Hyperloop? How is he going to save somebody in the Hyperloop if he has to destroy it to get in? Bullets used to bounce off the chest of the Man of Steel. Armor-piercing rounds going to do the same? How many people have a daily newspaper delivered to their house? We've lost 20% of daily newspapers in the U.S. in the last 30 years. Clark Kent is out of a job. When I just called for him, he was on a job interview. He's taking some of his transferable skills and applying to be an X-ray technician at Metropolis. But it's not just Clark. Peter Parker, I saw him last week at the DMV taking the pictures. Britt Reed from the Daily Sentinel, you know, the Green Hornet, had to shut it down. No one's getting newspapers anymore. He rents out Black Beauty for proms and weddings now. The unemployment line for superhero secret identities is getting longer. I heard Cato is teaching self-defense classes. Speaking of the Hyperloop, Elon Musk, whose idea it is, says it'll go from Los Angeles to San Francisco in 30 minutes, and from New York City to Los Angeles in 45 minutes. Can the Flash keep up? If Captain Cold or the Trickster get on the Hyperloop, is the Flash going to be able to catch them? Did you know that they have opened the first library with no books? Guess what that means for Batgirl? Barbara Gordon's now out of a job. She had to move back home with her father, the commissioner. She's doing motorcycle stunt work at the county fairs on weekends. And Adam Blake, Captain Comic, he's out of work too. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in August that 45% of superhero alter egos are unemployed, and that 33% of them have been out of work for 6 months or more. Now what about Batman? He didn't really have any superpowers, right? He just had the toys. Right? He had the Bat computer in the Bat cave, and with that utility belt, he was able to outwit Penguin, Riddler, Joker, and Catwoman. Well, who here has a smartphone? They're more powerful than the Bat computer. So which one of you is the next supervillain or archvillain? Greg? What are you doing there? An iPad? With an iPad, you could be the minstrel and outwit Batman. Greg, you want to put that phone away? Now, Wonder Woman, that invisible plane, right? Well, radar can see an invisible plane. That lasso of truth, you can beat a lie detector test. So I'm sure you can beat some silly little rope, right? And then those Amazon bracelets, again, armor-piercing rounds. Now, before you think it's just human superheroes we're concerned about, there's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Invisible fence. Well, before I get you too depressed, there is hope. Global warming is taking out the ArchVillians. Mr. Freeze, he's thawing. Killer Frost, defrosted. The polar ice cap is melting, right? Penguin is now in the water more than he's out. Polar bear, sea lion, he's toast. Blue snowman, okay, truth in advertising, it was a woman, just a puddle of water. If Captain Cold gets on the Hyperloop, well, it doesn't do well if it's over 40 degrees. And then blizzard, just a few sprinkles. So now I ask you, do we pursue technology at the risk of killing off our superheroes, or do we ignore Al Gore, forget about global warming, and let that take care of our supervillains, or our arch-villains? It's in your hands, Mr. Contest Manager.